Welcome. So today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea called custodial ethics. It's basically a playbook for anyone who's ever felt trapped inside a system that's just broken. At work, in a community, maybe even in a family, where you're trying your best to do the right thing while everything around you seems to be falling apart.
So let's just start with this, because it gets right to the heart of it. Have you ever had that feeling? That nagging sense that you're somehow responsible for cleaning up a mess you had absolutely nothing to do with creating? If that rings a bell, even a little bit, then you are definitely in the right place.
All right, so to really get the solution, we've got to understand the problem first. And the whole thing kicks off when a system, and that can be anything, a company, a team, you name it, when it completely loses its ability to learn from its mistakes.
And you can really see the difference here. I mean, look at this. In a healthy system, making a mistake isn't the end of the world. It's a chance to learn something. People own it. But in a failing system, oh no, the whole vibe changes. Suddenly, trying to point out a problem isn't helpful. It's a threat. And trying to hold someone accountable, well, that's just an annoying inconvenience for the people in charge. The system basically just plugs its ears and refuses to learn.
Now, this is so important to get. When that system stops fixing itself, the failure doesn't just, evaporate into thin air. It has to go somewhere. And where does it go? It gets dumped on the people who care the most, the conscientious ones, the people with integrity. They end up becoming the human shock absorbers for everyone else's dysfunction.
And this is where things get really, really dangerous. We start to confuse two totally different ideas. What it means to be responsible and this other much more toxic thing called substitution. And believe me, they are not the same thing at all.
Let's get this definition straight, because it is key, okay? So responsibility, that's about owning your choices. But substitution, that's when you're forced to absorb the consequences of someone else's bad decisions. It's you staying late to fix the project you warned them was going to fail. It's you patching up the damage you were completely powerless to stop from happening in the first place.
And this just nails the trap, doesn't it? The system pats you on the back and says, "Thanks for stepping up, you're being so mature, you're making a real sacrifice for the team." But what the source material makes so clear is that it's not maturity, and it's not a noble sacrifice. It's just displacement. The system is literally outsourcing its problems onto you.
And look, the price you pay for this is huge. You can't just keep absorbing failure after failure without it taking a massive toll. It causes something called moral injury. That awful feeling you get when you're forced to go against your own core values. It leads to bone-deep exhaustion, and you guessed it, total and complete burnout.
So, what's the way out? I mean, how are you supposed to act with integrity when the system itself has none? Well, this is where we get to the core idea of this whole explainer. It's a new mindset called the custodial ethic.
Okay, so let's break this down. A custodial ethic means you hold the line on your own principles. You don't budge. Your job is to protect what's important. Things like the truth, clarity, and the people who might get hurt. You work to stop things from getting even worse. But, and this is the absolute game changer, you do all of this without letting yourself become the cushion that allows the broken system to keep on being broken.
This right here, this is a profound shift in thinking. You have to stop asking, how can I fix all of this? Because honestly, you probably can't, especially if the system doesn't want to be fixed. The much better, much more powerful question to ask is, okay, given that the system has dropped the ball, what is my actual responsibility right here, right now?
All right, I'm not going to lie, this is the hard part. Because the second you start drawing these healthy, ethical lines in the sand, you're going to get pushback. And that pushback will often feel really personal and really manipulative.
Does any of this sound familiar? If you really cared, you just do this extra work. A loyal team member wouldn't be asking so many questions. Or the big one, you're betraying us by saying no. This is the language of a failing system. It's designed to make you feel guilty. It's literally weaponizing your own sense of goodness against you.
So, this all leads us to the central mantra of this entire idea. It's a simple phrase that, for me, just captures the whole thing perfectly. It's the art of holding without caring.
This is such a great way to put it. Think about it. Holding the line means you refuse to lower your standards. You won't lie, you won't cut corners. But without becoming the line means you refuse to let the entire weight of the broken system rest on your shoulders. You do what you can to preserve clarity and dignity, but you're not single-handedly propping up a building that's determined to fall down.
And what's really fascinating is that this isn't some new agey corporate idea. It has incredibly deep roots. The source material actually connects it to the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita and a powerful concept known as non-entanglement.
This ancient idea is just so relevant. The goal isn't to control the outcome, because let's be real, you can't control a failing system. The goal is simply to act in a way that aligns with your own principles. And then, and this is the really hard part, you have to let go of the results. The peace comes from knowing your actions were right, no matter what happens next.
And we have to be super clear about this. Non-entanglement is not the same as being indifferent or apathetic. That's just checking out, giving up. No, this is what's called aligned non-action. It is a conscious, strategic, and deeply ethical choice not to participate. Sometimes the most responsible thing you can do is refuse to play the game.
So as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with this question. Think of it as a tool you can use anytime you're in one of these tough spots. Before you act, before you jump in to fix things, just pause and ask yourself, is what I'm about to do actually going to make things better? Or am I just about to become a vessel for the harm this system is already creating? And that brings us right back to where we need to be. This is the core message to take away. It isn't about saving a system that refuses to be saved. It's about saving yourself, your integrity, your clarity, your sanity. It's about that quiet but powerful act of holding the line, without carrying the weight. And right there, in that refusal, is where you find your freedom.